The universe had stopped listening for humanity. 3 centuries had passed since a human voice last echoed through interstellar relays. 300 years since colossal arc vessels vanished into the void, carrying millions of sleepers toward distant suns. To the rest of the galaxy, humans were extinct, another species that burned its home world and disappeared into the dark. History sealed the record, and the stars moved on. But the silence humanity left behind did not remain empty. It was claimed by something far worse. The Driven were the first to emerge. Towering beings with ash-gray skin and hollow black eyes, they traveled in warships shaped like jagged blades. They appeared along abandoned trade routes and forgotten stations once built by humans, quietly claiming empty systems. At first, the galaxy welcomed them cautiously. Someone had to fill the vacuum humanity left behind. The Driven honored treaties. They traded fairly. They followed interstellar law. The illusion didn't last. Within 50 years, the Driven forged a brutal empire known as the Dominion Ascendancy. They allied with the galaxy's most violent species, offering conquest in exchange for loyalty. The serpent-bodied Krith joined for fresh prey worlds. The swarm-born core arrived with hive fleets of endless drones. United, the Ascendancy became unstoppable. Their first true victim was the Illyrian Concord. The Illyrians were gentle, sapphire-skinned beings devoted to art and diplomacy. They believed no conflict was beyond reason. That belief died the day a Driven armada appeared above Illyria Prime. Envoys were sent with peace offerings. The Driven commander listened for exactly 1 hour, then he fired. A column of superheated energy fell from orbit, vitrifying the Illyrian capital in seconds. 1 million lives erased in a single breath. The Concorde surrendered immediately. It saved nothing. Their people were enslaved. Their culture twisted into propaganda. Within a decade, the Illyrians were nearly extinct. The galaxy watched in silence. The Luminar followed, crystalline beings who communicated through harmonic song. Their voices soothed madness and calmed aggression. The Dominion silenced them with resonant suppressors that shattered thought itself. Unable to sing, the Luminar were chained and sent into abyssal mines, harvesting crystals for Dominion weapons. The Tharok tribes resisted. Massive, 4-armed warriors who had never lost a war. The Dominion offered them a choice: serve as shock troops or watch their children die from a tailored plague. Most submitted. Others chose mass suicide rather than obedience. Fear became the Dominion's greatest weapon. Worlds surrendered without resistance. Fleets dismantled themselves. Civilizations offered chains instead of annihilation. The name of the Dominion's admirals became bedtime threats whispered to children. Hope vanished. Some species fled into debris fields and dead stars. Others sent desperate signals beyond the galaxy, pleading with gods that never answered. Ancient prophecies were remembered, then abandoned. The age of brilliance had ended. The Dominion ruled everything that mattered, and yet one mystery endured. Humanity had vanished but left no ruins, no corpses, no wreckage. 300 years later, that mystery returned. Alarms erupted across a Dominion command carrier near the edge of controlled space. Sensors detected an impossible energy surge near a dead world, an output rivaling a star. Recon drones were launched. What they found defied comprehension. A vessel loomed in the void, vast enough to rival moons. Its surface was forged of shadowed alloy, etched with flowing symbols that shifted like living metal. As lights awakened across its hull, more ships emerged, unfolding from empty space itself, assembling into formation. Dominion officers froze as translation systems confirmed the truth. The signals were human. Humanity had returned. A warning was transmitted. Stand down. Submit for inspection. The response was not words. The human flagship shifted. Entire sections of its hull retracted, revealing weapons larger than cities. Power signatures surged beyond readable limits. When the Dominion fired its legendary Worldbreaker cannon, the beam struck empty space and vanished. Not deflected. Not absorbed. Erased. Then the transmission arrived. A human commander appeared on the screen, calm, precise, unmistakably altered. She spoke with the certainty of a species that had not come to negotiate. "We have been watching you for 300 years, she said. "We know every system you crushed, every species you enslaved. You will withdraw, you will free them, or this ends now." The Dominion laughed. Then hundreds of human vessels tore into existence across the system. Warships, carriers, living constructs that bent physics itself. The Dominion Armada found itself outnumbered, outclassed, and surrounded. The battle lasted minutes. Human weapons didn't burn or shatter. They unraveled. Dominion ships ceased to exist, their matter scattered into nothing. The survivors fled, carrying a message that spread faster than fear ever had. Humanity was alive, and they were not the legends the galaxy remembered. Across the stars, liberation began. Slave camps were breached without bombardment. Suppression fields were shut down without collateral damage. Human soldiers moved like phantoms, enhanced bodies, neural-linked armor, weapons that disabled instead of slaughtered. Captured Dominion troops were spared. Worlds were offered a choice. Freedom, not conquest. For the first time in centuries, former enemies stood side by side rebuilding shattered cultures. Children born in chains learned what it meant to hope. The Dominion responded with desperation. Their rulers gathered at the throne world, ordering extinction fleets prepared. If they could not rule the galaxy, they would burn it. A planetary annihilation weapon was activated beneath their capital, enough power to fracture the planet itself. As the countdown began, humans did not fire. They spoke. A broadcast flooded every channel on the throne world. Not propaganda, but truth. Archived history long erased. Proof that the Dominion's people were not born conquerors, but creators, artists, dreamers. Their identity had been stolen and reforged into a weapon centuries earlier. The lie cracked. Workers abandoned factories. Soldiers laid down arms. Entire districts rose in defiance. Not against humanity, but against the rulers who had chained them. Inside the throne chamber, the Dominion's leader watched his empire collapse without a single human shot fired. When confronted, he threatened annihilation. The humans offered him the same choice they had offered everyone else. Remember who you were. At the final second, the weapon shut down. The war ended not in fire, but in choice. Months later, human and alien ships worked side by side, repairing the scars of centuries. Cultures once erased were reborn. Former enemies shared skies once ruled by fear. The galaxy was healing, not because it was forced to, but because, at last, it chose to.